Those are very pertinent questions.
Wow. Yeah, maybe just to bring in Irenaeus a bit in this discussion, when it comes to the Credit Information Sharing Center, what happens to these individuals who default? They're listed on the CRB. We've seen 11 million downloads so far of these applications. So what happens to this group of people who end up defaulting and are listed in the CRB? And most of them are within the age bracket of 18 to 30, meaning they're the youth. Some of them are in university, they borrow not to invest, probably do something else. So what happens to them after they're listed in the CRB?
Before I answer your question, I think let me clarify something that CRB, as you may have heard from other cycles, is not meant to punish. You're borrowing history and makes you a better customer to take another loan. So I think there is a gap in terms of, the public trying to understand, when do you need to take a loan, when do you not to take a loan. So I am cognizant. I think we need to do a lot of awareness to the public. When you are listed, I think, because that's the data that digital lenders and any other lender actually relies, even normal lending, non-digital lending, relies on CRB data to give you a loan. Because that's what defines you as a risky or less risky customer. So I think it's important for customers to build a good history, and
so should I be listed? How do I get out? Because many people are listed right now as we speak.
And is the
what
process,
is the recourse? How do I get out? What is the process? Where do I start?
Well, there's first of all, I think you need to clear your loan, isn't it? You need to clear your debt
with that same financial institution that gave you the money.
Yes, and then there's a process now where you get cleared.
But first, I would have to find out which institution listed me to begin with.
Yeah,
because like Faisal is saying, there are 11 million downloads, so it means I'm on different apps. Maybe I've defaulted on quite a number. So how do I find out which one has taken me to the CRB?
I think if you access your personal credit report from the CRBs, it will tell you which institution has listed you.
Okay.
But is the process, and I want you to tell us that, is the process as easy and seamless, or is it going to frustrate Kenyans, the process of coming out from CRB? Has it been made easy and as smooth, or is it the process will it frustrate Kenyans?
A very tricky question, but I think it's not. I must admit, it's not a seamless process.
Yes,
so
let's
make this simple. Zinzi here is listed at the CRB. Where does she start?
First of all, I think you just need to check your CRB report. And
so
I think
online, is this online? How do you do it?
There are some CRBs who have who have created online methods. You dial a USSD or you go through an app. And just check your CRB report. I think you pay some small amount of money. I don't know whether that's the still pay, but once you have your personal report, then it tells you, what's your credit standing. And then you can also be able to know which institution has listed you for what loan is outstanding.
Okay. Maybe for Kenyans to actually have like 11 million, or rather for Kenya to have 11 million downloads of these digital applications, does that say something about our savings culture, so that the first option we have when we're strapped for money is actually borrowing?
I think there is too much noise about credit. Even this conversation is actually about credit. But if you look at the Vision 2030 agenda, it's really about financial inclusion. And financial inclusion is wide. You're talking about microinsurance, you're talking about savings, you're talking about credit. So credit is just one of the components. Let me take you back, because I've been in banking for a while now. In the traditional banking, if a customer wanted a loan from the bank, he would ask the banker, for how long do I need to save to get a loan? Now, that practice has actually not been migrated to the digital space. So one of the things we need to promote as a country is also the savings culture. There is too much and loud noise about credit, but we also need to give airtime to savings. And if you give airtime to savings, savings now becomes another component that when you're giving a loan, you can actually add it will be another data set for the lender to appraise for you to qualify for a loan.
Maybe, Kevin, before we actually wind up, most of these digital lending applications came up post the interest rate capping regime, post 2016. So did they come up to fill that void that banks left? Because there were instances in Gikomba where Mama Mboga or a person who's selling mitumba would rush to a bank, get a loan, pay within 1 or 2 days after they've actually done their business. So did the digital lenders come in to bridge that particular gap? And have they done their job?
Thanks. One, I'd just like to just explain how you get off the CRB.
Yeah.
One is you never get off the CRB. Once you're in, it's a beautiful thing. We
So
now
Trevor
know
is not going
Zanzi
anywhere.
is going to has taken this loan and she pays back on this way. And we start what we call repayment history data. And so that anytime anyone who wants to borrow, anyone who wants to lend you money, be it a bank, a digital lender, a SACCO, they'll pull that report and they'll know your credit history and you're a great customer. Right?
But if you're not,
and if you're not, it'll be there and it'll say that you're not a good customer.
so whether I clear my debt or not,
No,
it'll
if
still
you
be
don't
there.
clear your debt, what happens is your score goes down, and depending on the lender's appetite for risk, they can lend you money.
Okay.
Right? So just for clarity.
Can I just clarify that you're actually not getting the record out?
Yeah.
Payment of the loan is one of the processes, but the record, you defaulted at a particular
some
point in time, that record remains.
Okay.
And even for the lender, that's one of the things you look at. Has this customer,
Defaulted before.
does he have a defaulting history?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin, very brief.
Yeah. And then, so I think it was a unique moment in history where both things happened at the same time. Digital lending was going to evolve in Kenya simply because mobile money penetration was so high. And then the CRB infrastructure was in place and KYC infrastructure was in place. KYC is know your customer. And that is one of the biggest challenges in digital lending. In fact, one of the reasons why it's not spread across Africa is because a lot of African countries, post-colonial decisions was to get rid of ID systems that were used to oppress them. Right? But in Kenya, we didn't do that. So we've been able to keep our ID system, and at some point in 2012, we digitized it. Right? So now we were able to pull a record and say this is Faisal. We're able to pull a CRB record to see how much you borrow, and then we're able to move the value, the money, to you on M-Pesa. Right? So it was one of those things that happened at the same time.
Okay.
Have we done our job? Yes, I think, and we will continue doing our job. I think we'll do better than the banks.
How can Kenyans improve their credit access? Yes, okay, like you said, everyone and being on CRB is not a bad thing. But here, Trevor, if he's defaulted his loan, let's say he still ends up paying it after 6 months, though. How can he still improve his credit access? So tomorrow he qualifies for another loan.
Trevor, you tell us.
I don't know why they're picking on me. What am a serial defaulter?
The truth has to come out.
The best way to keep your record clean is pay your loans on time.
Yeah.
If you're unable to pay your loans on time, communicate. And that's what we're also trying to tell Kenyans. Send an email, send a message.
Yeah.
Tell your banker, call your RM, say, I'm going to be late on this payment. What are my options? Because we're in business, as he said.
Yeah.
We're not philanthropic. We're actually here to make money. And so if you don't get a loan, it's because we believe you won't make money,
yeah,
and therefore we will lose money. So the best way is just pay your loans on time and communicate clearly and on time.
Reginald, final remarks, very briefly.
I think as a country we need to stop fighting symptoms and actually go to the root of the problem. When you have a headache and you take Panadol, you're stopping the pain sensory, whatever's in the head, but your problem is maybe cancer in the leg. Fighting digital lending, trying to regulate, is reactionary to a symptom of a bigger problem that the government needs to sort out. If you don't sort out that, you will kill digital lending the same way they've killed betting, sports pesa and everything. Are all symptoms that are mushrooming around telling you there is a deeper problem in this country that we are not addressing. And that's why betting is coming up. People are trying to find ways of making money. That's why digital lending is sprouting. People are trying to make money. And something else will come up if we actually don't deal with the problem on the ground.
All right. Reginald Kazutu, financial analyst, Iranius Gishana, board member, Credit Sharing Information Center, Kevin Mutiso, spokesperson, DLAC, which is Digital Lenders Association of Kenya. Thank you so much for making time. Faisal Ahmed, the KDF man, is also here. You'll see a lot more of him every Thursday to discuss bulls and bears.
Faisal, guess what? Now that you've joined the Thursday team, we eat on Thursdays.
Oh.
So I should not leave.
You should not leave. And
I'll just pull a chair,
there you
hang
go.
around the corner.
There you go.
Until we actually...
You can have my share. It's all right. Zins is
really
particularly...
Nice. But you see, me having your share does not mean you're still taken off CRB. You're still
Oh my God. Guys, I'm not on CRB. Don't listen to you, what is going on? Let's see what you're saying online. There's a lot coming through on 22422. And Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. We see Governor 254 saying the digital loan services appear to be bridging the gap for Kenyans who don't have formal bank accounts or whose incomes are not stable enough to borrow from formal financial institutions.
All right, still on Twitter, use the hashtag Daybreak. Nahashan, you say the most sensible thing is to bring these people who borrow from loan apps into the traditional financial sector. You'd force these loan apps to reduce their rates to survive. Government can't do that because it knows one thing: banks will not lend to youth or Mamamboga.
And the third person on social media saying taming digital lenders is long overdue. Lender companies forward half of the youth populations to CRB, regarding them as unfit to borrow even from youth consolidated funds.
All right, let's see. Nick Mungai here says financial education ought to be introduced in schools and companies to empower everybody else in the borrowing process. Right? Brilliant. That does it for Daybreak. My name is Trevor Mbija. Always a pleasure having you with us, but also there's still some team that is expected to eat. The Zinzi team.
Well, Willis is always going to do the cooking. At least I would rather be called that the Zinzi team for eating, unlike the CRB team. See you on the other side, ladies and gentlemen.